We're going to take a little trip back into history, okay? I've got an open top, Colt open top. Let's open it up and shoot. Oh, yeah, look at that thing. Is that pretty or what? Let's shoot the coffin. He fired 5. All right, yes. Thanks to Cimarron Arms, sent us this as a T&E test and evaluation. A loaner, okay? This is a reproduction of the Colt open top made back in 1871-72. All right, let me show you this thing. This is a, well, again, it's one of those historical guns. I have to be careful, I'll tell you why over here on ejecting these. There's a sharp edge over there. I cut myself, I don't know, about a week ago. Actually healed, but I put a Band-Aid back on for protection. So I'm trying to avoid it. All right, you got your ejection rod. You got your cylinder, looks kind of like a Colt single action, right? And that's how it works. So this was called, by most people, the open top. The Colt open top is also referred to by several things. The Colt model 1871, 1872, the Colt model 1872, and all those sorts of things. I think people just gradually got to where they call it the open top because of the open top here, as compared with the frames that the later models had that surrounded the cylinder, just like the old Remingtons even had. Okay, so it was the open top. That's the name that kind of stuck with it. All right, so that's a Colt single action there, 1873, and you're looking at the old 1860 Army, which is the, oh, what do we say, grandpa of this gun, maybe just the daddy of this firearm, because that was only about 11 or 12 years later. So it's a little more awkward to use than the single action, okay? Even though this is a nice reproduction that, you know, Cimarron offers. It is wonderful, isn't it, that these things are still made. You know, well, I say still made, that reproductions of them are made pretty much to the, I don't know if exact is the correct word. I don't know if exact is the exact word, but they're very faithful to the originals, very faithful, okay? And this was really the first cartridge gun, the first gun that Colt made to be a cartridge gun, okay? The Roland White patents had expired, I think it was around 1870. And so Colt could start making their own guns that took a cartridge like this. You could just put right in the cylinder, have the cylinder bored all the way through, unlike the old percussion revolvers. They couldn't do that for a long time because Smith & Wesson held the patents for that. You know, that's why the Smith was making 22 caliber cartridge guns back in the 1850s even. And then you got the Model 3s and all the Smiths, and they were making some in smaller calibers. Then when I think Colt came out, or Smith & Wesson came out with some larger calibers around late 60s, I'm talking 18 now, 60s and 1870, like the Model 3, the kind of the predecessor to the Schofield, in large caliber cartridges. Now they were rimfire at the time. Yeah, they were rimfire, but they were large caliber. And then Colt was, oh man, we've got to do something and make something like that, you know. And so when those patents expired, the rights to them, then Colt got busy, and in 71, they were developing this and something like it to actually just produce. Now they were already converting the percussion revolvers, the Army, the 1860 Army, the 1851 Navy, cutting off the back of the cylinder and putting a plate back there. You've seen those. We've had one of those here on the table. I think it was the Navy revolver. And you know, in making them into cartridge guns, taking the plunger out here and putting the ejector housing on the side so you could eject just like this one and all that. And they did look somewhat like this, but not quite, because you can tell by the cylinder there's a different belt back here, a piece they had to add, like hack off that and then put that back there. So anyway, so it would take a cartridge. So they were doing some of that, and even some other gunsmiths out in the country, I think, were doing a little bit of it. So, but it was nice that Colt could finally make a cartridge gun in large caliber, and this was representing one of their first attempts at it. This should be chambered in the 44 Henry, okay? Now, these reproductions, this one is in 44 Special. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. So let's take another shot with it. So 44 Special is yeah, kind of close to a Henry, I guess. Load him up. Skip one. See, I grabbed some of my hand loads, didn't I? We'll see if it shoots in the rain here a little bit. We may have to stop if it rains too much here. All right. Oh, let's shoot that pot. Let's smoke that pot before it gets wet. Yeah. I wonder if I can pick off a 2-liter out there. Hey, good little shooter. Not bad. Do I have another round? No, I don't. It's a little stiff. It's new. And we can... There's a sharp edge up here on the ejector housing, what I was talking about. If this were my gun, I were going to keep it. It'd be simple to fix that, but I want to avoid getting cut. Now this gun, this particular gun, was submitted to the Army for the trials, and the military wanted a larger caliber, and they wanted a pistol like this that had the total frame, just like the old Remingtons and like the new Colt single actions, like this one right here. That's what they wanted, a frame that would encompass all that, make it stronger and in a bigger cartridge. So guess what came along? This gun in 1873, just a little bit later, in 45 Colt. And hence, history is made, the Colt single action in 45. That's one of my very favorite firearms of all time. And this was the first step, though, the open top, that led to that. All right, pretty cool gun. I'll shoot it 5 more times before we get rained out here. Yeah. Boom. Cowboy, let's get you. Yeah, it even works in the rain.